On October 1st, 2024, when I was finally able to come back to the gym after my ACL injury, I came into the gym at 50 kg. And by the 14th of August 2025, I was up by 10 kg. I finally reached my goal, which was 60 kg, and I was able to do that while staying under 15% body fat. Here are two pictures of myself where you can clearly see the difference. They don't show my legs, but there was a massive increase in my leg size as well. None of the things that I was doing was flashy, but it was simple and repeatable, and I was able to stay consistent with it. And that's what I want to show you today. That plan started with one thing that made everything else simple. And that thing was setting a specific target for myself. Instead of trying to fix my whole life at once, I focused on picking one target for myself. And that target was to gain 10 kg in 1 year while still staying under 15% body fat. That mindset took the pressure off. If I missed one day or I wasn't consistent for one day, I didn't still overthink or beat myself up about it. The next day, I just went back to the basics and kept following my plan. Progress came from showing up, not fulfilling a perfect streak. With that attitude I set for myself, every choice became easier because the only thing I had to ask myself was, does this help me grow? Since I had my mindset in check, the next thing I had to do was focus on what I was eating. On most of my weeks, I ate at a 500 calorie surplus. That gave me a clean pace to actually try and gain 1 kg of body weight every single month. Slow enough so I could manage my body fat percentage, but also fast enough so that I can actually feel the gains and see the results in the mirror. If you don't know your maintenance, just go on Google and search calorie counter. And then you go into their website, enter your details, and it will show you your maintenance calories level. Once you know that maintenance level, just add 500 calories on top of that and watch how you gain weight every single week. But the food you eat is not only about the calories. You also have to make sure that the food you eat has protein inside of it as well. Since I was 50 kg and I wanted to gain 10 kg, I set my target to 130 grams of protein every single day. The moment that made that protein target easy was when I realized that 200 grams of chicken breast has about 60 grams of protein. That's almost half of the amount of protein I need every single day. So I made sure to eat a chicken breast every single day. And that became my favorite type of breast, by the way. So to make things easier as well, I made sure to split that protein target across 3 or 4 different meals every single day. So when dinner came around, I didn't have to stuff myself with so much food just to reach my protein target. And the less I complicated the food side of things, that's when I was able to stay consistent with my food plan as well. And the way I was able to manage my diet so easily because I used ChatGPT to actually structure my meal plan. What I did was I told it my weight, I told it my goal, and I told it the type of method that I wanted, which was lean bulking, which is probably the only way you should be bulking because dirty bulking is not the way. I don't know why people recommend it, but that is not the way you should try and bulk. Lean bulking should always be the priority. So when I entered my details into ChatGPT, it gave me a structured meal plan, which meant that I didn't have to overcomplicate and overthink what I needed to eat every single day. And when my appetite changed, I just told it, I didn't like this meal, can you make a new one? And it did exactly that. But the meal wasn't always perfect, it wasn't always what I wanted, but it was repeatable. And that's why I was able to stay consistent with it. And now switching things up from the food side of things to actually training. Because reliable eating only matters if you actually put in the work in the gym. If you're not pushing your body hard in the gym, you're not giving it a reason to actually build muscle. So my training plan is a full body training plan, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Big compound lifts at first, and then I finish it off with lighter compound lifts. If you want my full body workout routine, check one of my previous videos that I posted, where you will get a detailed full body plan with why it works and how to actually apply it for yourself. But the main reason why I chose a full body workout routine for myself is because I didn't want to be in the gym for 6 days a week. And I also didn't want to spend 2 hours in the gym. So a full body plan allowed me to stay in the gym for only 50 to 60 minutes. And with those 50 to 60 minutes, I was still able to make insane progress. And the mistake that a lot of people make, and I also made at first, is that when I train consistently and I focus on my diet consistently, I weigh myself every single day. But that's the wrong approach. You should only weigh yourself weekly, because your weight will actually fluctuate throughout the week and you won't become so demotivated when you see you 51 kg now, the next day you 53, oh you're happy, then you 51 kg again. By weighing yourself weekly, you won't get those overthinking thoughts. And with weighing myself, I also made sure to take pictures of myself so I could actually see the difference between my first month and my last month, because pictures tell you the truth when your brain actually forgets how far you've come. And another thing that is a quiet superpower that most people don't realize is your sleep. With 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I had more energy and my sessions felt smoother. With short sleep, my recovery lagged behind and I wasn't able to push myself so hard in the gym. And that also allowed me to stop overreacting when I didn't reach the target I set for myself, because at that time I was weighing myself daily. So I didn't overreact anymore when I weighed myself. And then I focused on the weekly trend because that was actually what mattered. And everything I've said in this video boils down to this simple playbook that you can follow. Stick with one specific goal that you have in mind. Mine was to reach 60 kg in 1 year. Then choose a simple but steady calorie surplus. For me, that was 500 calories above my maintenance. Then set the protein target for yourself. Mine was 130 grams of protein. But when you set your target should be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you want to reach. So if you want to reach 60 kg as well, your protein target should be 130 grams as well. And then use ChatGPT to actually help you structure that meal plan so that you can actually reach your calorie and your protein targets. Then train full body 3 times a week and focus on increasing your reps before you increase the amount of weight that you do. I also go into more detail on that in one of my previous videos. And lastly, and one of the most important things you need to do is to track everything, your workouts and your meal plan. Because by tracking it, you actually take emotion out of it and you start focusing on the numbers. And numbers don't lie. If the numbers aren't increasing, then something that you're doing is wrong. And by seeing that, you're actually able to reflect on what you are doing and actually improve on that. And this is the process that I followed to actually go from 50 to 60 kg. And when you see the difference of my photos of October 2024 and August 2025, you'll actually see the amount of size that I was able to gain. You won't see my legs, of course, because I didn't take photo of that. But they also grew from staying consistent, the same way my upper body did. So that's how I went from 50 kg to 60 kg while staying under 15% body fat. No fluff, just structure that you can also follow. You become the person you want to be by pushing through the times you want to quit.